Hello, it's January 2025, and this video is inspired by zombies. I'm out of here. So as I stated, this video is inspired by zombies, but not the Hollywood fictional zombies, but rather real life zombies. Now some of you are going, what? Well, for one thing, if you're not into, we'll classify this as a woo-woo topic, then I don't know, just go find something else to watch, I guess. But what I'm talking about are real life events. So if you're interested, I don't know, maybe stick around and listen. Anyway, so around 13 years ago, 2012, there was, dare I say, a zombie outbreak. And now people are like, what are you talking about? I don't know how many of you people will remember that. Maybe didn't even heard of it. But it happened all around the world. United States, I believe Canada as well, China, Europe, South America, and Australia. I mean, literally, simultaneously. Now, at the time, mainstream news was trying to say drugs. Everything is drugs. A very easy pill to swallow explanation, just drugs. And at the time, the family members of these people who were, as a descriptive, acting like zombies were saying, no, they weren't on drugs. It's impossible. Autopsies showed that these people were not on drugs because these people, the only way to stop them was to take them from, well, if they're zombies, how do you take them from life, right? Well, you know what I mean. So it was just all kind of swept away really quick, as fast as it started to appear around the world. And then over time, you know, they're saying, oh, well, mental health issues. Oh, that's possible, but we all know the liberal arts, theoretical pseudoscience of psychology can't diagnose anything, and you just make stuff up all the time, and it's a fake profession, dare I say. So what was really going on around that time all around the world? Now, some of you might accept the official story of drugs, perhaps even mental illness, but some of these cases, and there's lots, and I did try to look online to find these cases. Now, I did talk about them at the time in my content, and there's a lot of them, but I can't seem to find, maybe only a handful of things. I found one source that talked about 11 or 12 of them, but it just seems to be kind of, well, are we surprised it's been kind of scrubbed from the internet? Anyway, but I did manage to find some of these cases, and I'll give you a couple of examples that come to mind. There was that a person, for example, in Miami who running around naked and literally ate half of a homeless man's face clean off. And apparently they're working on some sort of documentary movie or something about this, and they're really focusing on the mental health aspect because, again, that's a convenient, easy pill to swallow for people because you can't dispute, the autopsy said there was no drugs, and then the media was saying drugs at the time, but whatever. There was that case. There was one, for example, in China. A bus driver driving his bus, stopped at an intersection, And witnesses recorded this. And I guess there was video footage from the bus just showing he just stopped, got off the bus, and ran across an intersection and jumped on the hood of a car, started banging on the windshield, and attacked a woman who was driving it and tried to eat her. And she got away. He wasn't on drugs. He wasn't drunk or anything because he's working. Well, midway through his shift. And there were so many of them at the time. And I don't know how many people really paid attention to it because, again, when you're told, oh, drugs, it's just like people kind of dismiss it and they hear about it. It's like, yeah, drugs, more drugs, and we got to fight drugs and all this stuff. But something took place around that time, and apparently it's still happening to this day, but not hitting any media or anything. Now, what does all this mean? Who knows? There's a lot of weirdness going on in the world today with these drones, for example, this mystery fog, what they're calling it, and people making claims of becoming sick and all sorts of stuff with this fog. And the orbs, there's videos of these orbs dropping some sort of mist from them, heavy mist, to the ground just before all this fog stuff happened. And a lot of people, especially content creators who can't wrap their head around, for example, woo-woo stuff, they're blaming the government and all this other stuff, trying to take out most of the population and everything else. I mean, there's other ways to do it than something so elaborate, but I digress. Different flavors of Kool-Aid. People are not accepting the fog, for example, but they're going to accept another flavor of Kool-Aid saying, oh, it's the government, because they just do all these crazy things. They do a lot of things, but whatever. So this video is just really kind of bringing back the, dare I say, the zombie outbreak that took place about 13 years ago and seems to be kind of continuing. How does it tie in with what's happening today? Well, the world's just getting crazier and crazier. And it's going to get crazier and crazier pretty quick. And as I say when I'm talking about, say, more down-to-earth, worldly topics, all you have to do is survive. That's it. Just survive. No point of being consumed by any of this or anything. Just make mental notes, set it aside, carry on. But there's a lot of strangeness picking up pace, as well as with everyone having cameras and video cameras on them at all times on their phones, being able to capture all this stuff. But somebody recently asked me, well, how do we know that the scale of what's happening now hasn't always been? Well, people have been having cameras and phones in their pocket 24/7 pretty much for quite a long time. But what we're seeing now is an increase of people capturing these things because it's happening more frequently. It's always been there. All this weird stuff has always been there, but it's increasing. And this even includes with sighting of various cryptids and what people are calling predator-type cloaked something, whether they be some sort of cloaked orbs or humanoid looking. But things are ramping up really, really good here. What can you do? Nothing. Just wait to see what happens. And that's all I want to do, is just kind of remind everyone of the zombie outbreak. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.
Listen to this and write it down if you can't remember it. You're never going to outgrow warfare. You simply must learn to fight. When it's going to get easier, when you die.